Before we take roll call, as you're aware, or you can see, there's one of our members that are missing up here. She's in the hospital. She's been hospitalized for, I don't know, at least a month, 7 weeks. So I would just ask all of you to, she's the sweetest lady in the world, Dudley Alberti. If you would, just remember her in your prayers to whoever you pray to, and that she has a full recovery. Thank you. Roll call.
Ms. Alcieri.
Present.
Mr. Andronopoulos.
Present.
Mr. Donovan.
Here.
Mr. Grillo.
Here.
Ms. Jarvis.
Here.
Ms. Malinak.
Here.
Mr. Musto. Here. Mr. Bruno.
Here. Adequate notice of the meeting has been provided by the following means. Annual notice was sent to the Herald and News, the Record, the South Bergenite, the Observer, Township Clerk, and posted in the lobby of the Town Hall and Board Office, setting forthcoming scheduled work meetings and public meeting of the Board. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the last number 5 meeting?
So moved.
Roll call.
Ms. Alcieri.
4.
Mr. Andronopoulos.
4.
Mr. Donovan.
4.
Mr. Grillo.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Malinak.
4.
Mr. Musto. Mr. Bruno.
4. Is there anybody on the list? No one's on the list, so we'll move along. Yeah, communications, Mr. Deason.
The notice for 3 board member seats, Mr. Bruno, Mr. Musto, Ms. Alberti. This is the last notice on our meeting agenda that those seats are open. We received correspondence from the Veterans Alliance thanking for the 4th and 5th grade tribute that they did for them. And also, I'm just acknowledging you all were invited to the Memorial Day Parade. We received that communication a while ago. That's since the last meeting. Thank you.
Finance Committee.
Any board member who takes exception.
Oh, would you like to do that? Okay. We have a few awards. Ms. DeMarco is going to hand out. She usually jumps.
Okay, can we get the following teachers to join us up here? Ms. Christine Coppola and Jill Loser. These teachers were nominated for Montclair State University's Foxy Awards. There are also 3 students that I'd like to join us as well. Jordan Fernandez, Anthony Hayes, and Regan Ferschweiler. Just get here as long as possible. The goal of these awards is to promote and advance the commitments of high-quality play productions in our high school and our high schools. The awards honor the accomplishments and individual achievements of the students and the teachers in the areas of performance, direction, design, and technical theater. Ms. Christine Coppola, who was our director of the play Goals in the fall, and Jill Loser, who was the assistant director of Goals, had both earned the nomination for directing and are as follows. Jordan Fernandez for his nomination for Outstanding Performance by Lead Actor in a Comedy. Anthony Hayes for his nomination for Outstanding Performance by a Supporting Actor in a Comedy. And Regan Firschweiler for a nomination for an Outstanding Performance by Supporting Actress in a Comedy. Both also garnered nominations for Outstanding Costume Design and Outstanding Live Music. Thank you very much.
I don't know how many of you got to see this. It was hysterical. I don't know how you kept straight faces because I was sitting here, literally my stomach was hurting from that. It was so much fun, and just making people laugh is such a gift. So thank you for that, because you have that gift and you do it so well, and it was really, really just such a great time, and I can't wait till next year. So thank you.
Okay, Ron Grillo, Finance.
Okay, any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of Finance, Facilities, and District Planning Committee may so indicate now, and a separate motion for each of the accepted actions will be entertained. Hearing none, I move that 1 through 11 be approved.
Roll call.
Ms. Alcieri.
Four.
Mr. Andronopoulos.
Four.
Mr. Donovan.
Four.
Mr. Grillo.
Four.
Ms. Jarvis.
Four.
Ms. Malinak. Mr. Musto. Mr. Bruno.
4. Educational curriculum, Ms. Alcieri.
Be it resolved that the Lyndhurst Board of Education approve the English Language Service 3-year program plan for the 2017-2020 school years.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Alcieri.
4.
Mr. Andronopoulos.
Four.
Mr. Donovan.
Four.
Mr. Grillo.
Four.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Malinak. Mr. Musto. Mr. Bruno.
4. Policies, rules, and regulations, Jim Donovan.
Yes, any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of policies, rules, and regulations committee may indicate now, and a separate motion for each of these accepted actions will be entered. Hearing none, I make a motion that the following policies, rules, and regulations of numbers 1 through 5 be adopted.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Alcieri.
4.
Mr. Andronopoulos.
4.
Mr. Donovan. 4. Mr. Grillo.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Malinak. Mr. Musto. Mr. Bruno.
4. Sherry, athletic student activity.
Any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of athletic student activities, the substance abuse committee may so indicate now, and a separate motion for each of the accepted actions will be entertained. I move for items 1 through 7 be accepted.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Alcieri.
4.
Mr. Andronopoulos.
4.
Mr. Donovan. 4. Mr. Grillo.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Malinak.
4.
Mr. Musto. Mr. Bruno.
4. New business, Mr. Grillo.
Any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of new business may so indicate now, and a separate motion for each of the accepted actions will be entertained.
I'd like to accept.
Number 2, any others?
Number 4.
4. So we're going to make a motion for 1, 3, 5, and 6. Is that correct?
Correct.
And 2 and 4 are separate.
2 and 4 will be separate.
Separate motion.
Roll call.
This is,
For 1, 3,
the
5.
first motion is for 1, 3, 5, and 6. We have a first and a second. Ms. Alcieri.
4.
Mr. Andronakis.
4.
Mr. Donovan.
4.
Mr. Grillo.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Mallon. Mr. Musto. Mr. Bruno.
4.
Take a motion for number 2 now. Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Alcieri.
4.
Mr. Andronakis.
4.
Mr. Donovan.
No.
Mr. Grillo.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Mallon.
4.
Mr. Musto. Mr. Bruno.
4. Item number 4.
Yeah, I make a motion for item number 4 now.
Second.
You can't second, it's actually just wrong.
You can move it along. You don't have to vote.
Ms. Jarvis has the second. Ms. Alcieri.
Against.
Mr. Andronakis.
4.
Mr. Donovan.
4.
Mr. Grillo.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Mallon.
4.
Mr. Musto. Mr. Bruno.
4. Community relations. Chris Musto.
Any board member takes exception to any of the following list of actions under the category of community relations and safety and security agreement. May so indicate now and separate motion for each of the accepted actions. Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion number 1 and 2 be adopted.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Alcieri.
4.
Mr. Andronakis.
4.
Mr. Donovan. 4. Mr. Grillo.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Mallon.
4.
Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Bruno.
4. Yeah, personnel. Chris.
Any board member takes exception to any of the following list of actions under the category of personnel. May so indicate now and separate motion for each of the accepted actions will be entertained. Hearing none, I will move that 1 through 12.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Alcieri.
4.
Mr. Andronakis.
4.
Mr. Donovan.
4.
Mr. Grillo.
4.
Ms. Jarvis.
4.
Ms. Mallon.
4.
Mr. Musto. 4. Mr. Bruno.
4. Superintendent's report. You can do that anything you want.
Okay, just a couple of things to touch base on. I really hope that many of you were able to attend the commissioners' meeting last Thursday. They gave a fantastic presentation by the architects that they have selected to build the new junior high school, and the plans look fantastic. And they are so well aligned with what we have in plan for our referendum. I know there's a whole lot out there in that virtual world, on Facebook, on the infamous message board that the town has, and on a variety of other sites. I'm not someone who visits or utilizes those for communication, but I'd rather have conversations with people who are interested in attending our board meetings, in reaching out to us, whether it's via a board member or via me directly. But I will tell you here that we're in fantastic shape with our plans moving forward. We are just about ready to release to the community a nice visual timeline, easy to read, easy to understand, of the various stages that will guide us through Right now, we are on track for construction beginning in late fall of this current calendar year, and we're hopeful for that. Again, I just need to use this opportunity to extend to you the understanding that we have with the town, that this is a joint effort, that we're doing incredible work together, and that work will continue. And we will certainly communicate to you as soon as everything is in place, and we know that we can put our names and faces to the communication that we're sharing. So thank you for your cooperation, your understanding, and of course the support that you demonstrated in letting this project start to take life in the months ahead. We are really so excited. In addition, we're entering the summer months, and in the summer months, we don't have the pleasure of being with your children on a day-to-day basis. We don't have the opportunity to continue educating them during those weeks. But we do encourage you to continue with providing them with educational opportunities at home, and just to always keep in mind that every single day you are teaching your students, your children, our students, and you do that by what you model. And in light of maybe some recent community topics that have taken over, there may have been some modeling by adults that we wouldn't necessarily want our children to be doing themselves. Behaviors that we practice that we may not want them to practice. So I just encourage you to remember that your children are watching us, they are listening to us, and they are imitating us. That's how they learn the most. And there's nothing greater than the summer months to be able to spend time with them and to show them the person that you hope they grow up to be. Thank you so much.
Under the auspices of the Education and Curriculum Committee, I would like to compliment the middle school production under the direction of Steve A. and Brian Lang for a job well done. The play was absolutely fantastic. I want to tell you that is the best middle school play that I have seen since my involvement in the Lyndhurst Public School System, which goes for about 48 years. So it was absolutely phenomenal. I also want to commend the Veterans Program put on by Darius Hughes at Jefferson School, and the district choruses in grades 4 and 5 at Roosevelt School, who did a special tribute to the veterans with our Veteran Alliance men there, as well as the Lincoln School and Jefferson School district choruses. It's a credit to the teachers, the veterans, as well as the students who put on such a great performance, and the parents who were in attendance really enjoyed it. So I thank you for the invitations, and we hope that it continues in the near future. Thank you.
I think we have a public hearing. We have one person who would like to speak, Catherine Kavanaugh Keith.
Sorry, guys.
Take your time.
Good evening, everyone. Excuse my back. Thank you for the opportunity to come out here and speak to you guys this evening. My name is Catherine Kavanaugh, and I am a proud parent of a senior in the band and the color guard and the choir at Lyndhurst High School. It was just recently brought to my attention of a supposed board policy and the New Jersey State law that has just recently come out within a month that denies our children equal treatment of receiving a varsity letter. This law was put out by Senator Allen and Bacon, and upon cursory review, just as a parent reading it, of the New Jersey State law, It was never the purpose to exclude anyone from receiving a varsity letter, placing both academic and sports for equal footing, but the former framework for those who don't have a varsity program in its place for the students. I have reached out and have not heard back yet from the co-sponsors of this bill, but I have personally read in the newspapers, accounts online, and the website that the bill was meant to be inclusive, not to exclude students. And now I feel a misrepresentation of New Jersey State Law's intent has occurred and purportedly changed in the Lyndhurst Board of Education policy that had not been enforced, but is now going to be enforced. As a lifelong resident of Lyndhurst and a graduate of Lyndhurst High School, to my knowledge, sports, band, color guard, cheerleaders have always received varsity letters. The amount of time that these young men and women dedicate to the Lyndhurst High School band all year long, for example, but not even limited to tutoring in music, band, camp, practice, concerts, parades, competition on the county, regional, state, and completion for winning for band. These boys and girls competed in our school's name for band, also for choir, and received positions through competition because of their hard-earned work. And winning, representing our school, those positions, which are very difficult to go through. And it's all because the mentoring and tutoring from our music department. Representing our school and the township of Lyndhurst, I feel as a parent, and my daughter is an outgoing senior, and is not being affected by this whatsoever. But I speak for one of many parents that have a huge concern regarding this issue. Some are here tonight, but I can assure you, many have conversed with concern about the misrepresentation they feel about their children being left out, and that this law, certainly upon reading it, never meant for the children to be slighted. I call upon the board, with all due respect, to please go over and review the law, and to please include these children that, through their own personal time, our band is wonderful. They give so many gifts to this school. When you go at every football game, it's our band sitting there. It's our band that go to the parades and speak out and are there for our town's civic duty. It's our band, not only the band, the choir, that represent our school, our community. And I personally feel, and again stating, my child is not going to be affected by this, but the children of Lyndhurst High School that are participants in the organization, what I feel the written letter of the law was meant for, it's supposed to be inclusive. And I respectfully ask that the Board of Ed please look into this and review it. Because again, I am just one voice of many parents that are concerned over this issue. And I really feel that attention should be given to this grievous matter, because that was never what I feel upon reading the law was intended to do. It was supposed to include all children. And I just respectfully request that the Board of Education here please looks into this, because again, I'm just one of many parents concerned over this. But I felt the need to come and speak out. I am a community person. I was a former graduate of this high school. I feel very strongly that our children should be entitled for equal footing, whether it's academic or sports, to be given the same rights and looked at in the same light, which indeed, when you read the law, is what the interpretation for the co-writers of this law. So I just respectfully ask that some consideration be given on this, and I know this is one of many concerns that will be coming forward, but I am a senior parent, and I just wanted to thank you for your time, but to please look into this and allow our children equal footing. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. I just want to take this moment just to bring light to, and to clarify some things, because I don't want there to be concerns elevated that are not even affecting any changes within our district. So first and foremost, I echo everything that you're putting out there about arts in any forum. We just, celebrated the art of acting and the art of singing. And, we're not going to be able to put together any production without music. I don't think many of us would be able to function in our day-to-day lives if it's not for music.
I agree.
So certainly our students have far exceeded the bar of performance at multiple levels. And you're right, not only have they competed, but they have gone ahead and allowed themselves to be compared individually to others. And perhaps there's nothing more scary than that.
Oh, I agree.
And I, align that almost to one of those individualized sports like the wrestling or track, etc. What I do want to just caution, however, is what we do and what that law is referring to. So for those of you who may not be familiar with law, a recent law was issued by the governor very recently, early May. And what it basically stated was that varsity letters should be given to sports and activities that were of the level of competition. So the idea that a sport becomes at the varsity level when there's competition involved. So basically it's separating those intramural type sports with those that are competitive. And the competition that they're suggesting is out of district, so competing with other districts. Now, that again is within NJSIAA because that's really where the varsity term comes. What we as a school, as many other schools do, we elect to honor in alignment with what is comparable to varsity sports, other activities. In this case, the band students can earn band letters. And within the realm of band, they're considered like a varsity level of band, certainly. The issuance of those letters, the presentation, the honor, the recognition is not going away. Those letters are not going to stop being given out and celebrated and used as a means of recognizing. I think what becomes important here is that we have varsity as per NJSIAA, and then we have internal varsity levels. And band is certainly not part of NJSIAA, and that law is more aligned with NJSIAA in order to recognize activities that are competitive.
And the scholarships that go along with the children receiving the varsity letter?
So let me explain a little bit about our scholarships via McLean. Many of our scholarships are organized by committees. When a donor is given a scholarship, that donor has the right to decide what the qualifications are and the criteria. So some donors, we collect the applications, we give to them, they give us the name, and how they select is up to them. They don't owe us to share with us their criteria or what they do, how they do, right? So I will say that there are some scholarships that require that the child has participated in at least 2 years of a varsity sport, and that is separate and apart. It's their criteria for whatever be the reason. We have some scholarships whereby the student has to be exploring a certain subject matter in college.
Sure, my daughter just went through this experience of mine.
So,
I'm sorry, I don't mean
please.
to interrupt you, but it was presented to us that the varsity letter that was always given to the children as a varsity letter would be a participation letter. I just think that's so wrong to have it phrased that way. It's a varsity letter, and I believe whether it's academic or sports, it should be recognized as the same level. And myself as a parent, and again, this is not even affecting me whatsoever, but I mean, I did read the law, and I understand the criteria, and you're right, when you're the one that is making the scholarship, you are entitled to have a certain criteria for the children to apply for. It's your choice.
Right, and the scholarships are separate and apart. I think the other piece, and sometimes we get so hung up on language, the idea I think there is that by participating for whatever the criteria is in band to earn that varsity letter is where the participation comes in. So in other words, in a sport, for example, you would have to be playing at the varsity level on a varsity team for X number of quarters or games a season to get the varsity letter. That's not the same with band. The criteria for band is the participation makes them qualify for that varsity L. That's basically what we're speaking about. So I think, on a sports level, it's about how you're performing or how often you're performing or to what level you're performing. Whereas by the band, they don't have to be performing to, a certain level or playing in the jazz band or the chorale to earn that letter. Simply through their participation, they become eligible by the assessment of the instructor to earn a varsity L, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
But having said that, I mean, you could be in sports too and never put your foot on the field, and you will still receive a letter because you're on the team. So I mean, my point is, I don't feel.
That's not true.
So when we give out anything related to a sport that's within the NJSIAA conference, we have to abide by those rules.
Right.
So anything that comes forward has to abide by those rules of the conference. And that's where it becomes more constraining on that end. With something like band, we're not regulated by any conference. We're not regulated by an outside sport, an outside group, so to speak. So if a student is, a sophomore or a junior, and they're playing with the, elite section of the band, and it wants to be warranted that they're earning a varsity L at their band dinner, that's at the discretion of the group. That's not dictated by anyone else to say how many times do they play or what notes are they hitting or any other means of measurement.
So it's still considered a varsity letter because it was told to us as at a meeting that would be considered a participation letter.
It's varsity. It is varsity. I think what we're not separating here is there's varsity as per a sports conference. That's really where the term varsity comes in. That does not negate our internal ability to identify an elite L for work in band as a varsity letter in band. However, what I think needs to be clear, and because you mentioned the scholarship, if a student gets a varsity band letter and a scholarship requires a varsity letter from a sport or as per NJSIAA, they're not one and the same. They're in two different categories.
No, that I understood,
Yeah.
but I was just saying how it was presented to us, and I just felt that there was a devaluation of the students in band.
And
My personal opinion.
And all I can say, I don't know, how it was presented, when it was presented, or from whom it was presented. I can't attest to, and I would love to know more about that presentation because anyone who is speaking to parents on behalf of the district and making them or the students feel that they're being devalued or suddenly their work isn't worthy of something or
That
is
was
less
not how it
than.
was presented
Yeah,
to
okay,
us, so I
so-
would love to have that conversation with you.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with
But
you.
you just
I
mentioned
mean,
you were devalued, and that's
said
hurtful.
my opinion,
Yeah.
I'm saying that I felt, and as was the opinion of parents, some are here tonight, but the parents that were sitting in the room, all that was presented to us and the exact verbiage was that from now on that the letters being presented to the children are not considered varsity letters. It would be a participation letter. I did not make this up, this was what was stated. There was no other further conversation in regards to that. It was just allowing us to have this information.
Yeah.
And myself as a parent, and living the life of going, with the children sitting at the band things, I just took issue with that, as did many of the parents.
Absolutely.
There was no other conversation about what meeting was said. It was just said that the letter would be called a participation letter. And naturally, that upset the parents that my children have been in this a long time. Some children have been in it since 8th grade participating.
And absolutely.
That's why I use my verbiage, that I would feel demeaning that they would feel diminished.
Sure, and without a doubt, the idea that there's any shift, that anything is changing with regard to what's received and the level that is within the band, on a band measure, so to speak, is nothing, there's absolutely nothing changing. I think the big
I'm happy to hear that. This is why then I'm here for clarification.
Nothing is changing at all. And the only piece of perhaps clarification that was intended in any communication, if it was that in band, there is no criteria to set who gets that L. In sports, as the governor's rule was, the governor's new law came out, the state, once again, wants to regulate specifically what determines a sport eligible for a varsity L as per NJSIAA.
Well, I said what I had to say. Thank you for the
Thank you.
clarification.
Thank
But
you
it does
so
make
much.
me feel better
I'm
as an
glad.
outgoing parent, knowing that the children are not, being diminished, that it is considered a varsity letter, the same equal footing as if you were on sports.
There is no change. As I said, the only difference is that it's not being issued as per a sports conference.
No, of course.
It's being issued as per our own levels of measurement.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you.
Is there any unfinished business? Having no unfinished business, may I have a motion for it? Whoa! Okay, we have a motion for adjournment by Mr. Donovan, Musto, and Ms. Alciuri. Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh, we have a second. We're good? We are adjourned. Thank you very much for coming, and thanks for your participation.